So right now, as I'm making this video, I have an agent making me websites to make these tutorial videos, to explain exactly my thought process and everything I've learned so I can share it with you. And so in this video, I'm gonna be covering what is an AI agent and what makes it so special and what's different than a chatbot. So first, let's dive into what is a chatbot, which we're all familiar with it since 2023, I believe, when ChatGPT came out with it. Basically, it's a message plus a prompt and it gives you a result. And we all know that this has got better and better and better. You find better ways to prompt it, you find better ways to give it knowledge, and it started building a little bit of memory as well. But a chatbot is very limited. It can't actually go do things. It doesn't really have good memory. It's getting better. It's not autonomous. And if something happened today in your business, you would have to go tell the agent rather than it knowing already. And every time you just talk with it, it's starting fresh. So we don't need to dive on that. So what is an AI agent? So in this video, I'm gonna really dive deep into what is an agent, because for me it was mind-blowing, because it's actually not mind-blowing on how it actually operates. And so once you understand how it operates, then you will understand how to build it. Because I get a lot of questions like, how do I train an agent to do this? How do I do this? And the proof is right here. Exactly. So what is an AI agent? Let's dive into it. So first, the way you want to think about an AI agent, it's not just a message plus a prompt, it's a message plus a whole series of documents. So a lot of documents. So in this example, you can see that this is your agent here. It has knowledge, it has tools, it has memory, it has skills, it has identity, it has autonomy, meaning you can give it a schedule. And so now agents can actually remember everything. They can take action. They can actually go do things because you gave it a tool. You gave it Shopify, you gave it Gmail. It can run on a schedule because you gave it a schedule. It remembers everything because you tell it to remember everything. Or if you're using OpenClaw, it saves it every time there's something of importance. You can give it skills so it continuously does the same thing over and over. If you make a PowerPoint in the same way, or if you do, for example, this is a skill. I taught it 20 minutes ago. I said, hey, I want to build slides like Miro. And it says, hey, we can do that. And then I said, I love that. And I said, make sure you save that. Every time I'm making a presentation, I want you to make it like that. Now I gave it a skill. Well, actually, it gave itself a skill, but I just told it what skill I wanted it to have. All right, you might be thinking right now, like, okay, Trey, I understand it has all these documents, but I still don't understand what it means. And then we're gonna dive even deeper, fully understand it. You're gonna be like, wow, this is simple. So let me explain it. So as I mentioned, with a chat, it has a few documents in this building. But what makes an agent different is it has this one document, and they usually call it like a Claude.md, or an OpenClaw, they call it AGENTS.md. It's one document. And think of this document as like a table of content. Basically, it's one document the agent reads every time you message it and says, here's all your tools, here's all your skills, here's everything. So it doesn't have to dive into all the files right away, because if it did, it would have to send all that data into the LLM and it'll be expensive. And so what it does is it reads the table of contents and it reads what it needs. So let's give an example. These are all the files that the agent has. I built this agent, and this is just a demo agent, but I built this agent, and these are the files that it has. It has a soul file, which says, hi, I'm Max. I'm a media buying agent. My brand is Momentum Apparel. My mission is to do this. My style is to do this. This is just like a prompt in ChatGPT. But then it has memory, and you see it says a master context. So this is where it puts memory if something big happens. But then it has date memory. Every single day that you have a session, it saves that memory. And so if you say, hey, what happened last week? It can look at the documents. Or if you say, how was performance over the last month? It can kind of go look at all these things and say, hey, I want to check this out. Or if it wants to find more information, it knows where to look. And then you have knowledge. So if you wanted to do research, say you wanted this agent to be a media buyer. Okay, say you have a media buyer, but you wanted to have full context on a course that you took, a strategy that's so specific for media buying. Well, you can take all that documents that you got from that course and just put it into a knowledge file. You can just give it to the agent, say, here is the file, here is the course that I took. Can you save this to a file so you have this knowledge? And so every time that you ask, and so if you really wanted to use that all the time, you say, also, I want you to use this every time we do this task. Now it has that knowledge. And before we move forward, let's go back to this really quick, because this is your sole MD, again, your table of contents. You can add more information in there if you wanted to know it every time. So for example, if you wanted to always check out your brand profile information, you can say, always check brand profile information every time. And so what makes OpenClaw so good is when you message the agent, it has this way of filtering out to get only what it needs. Now, if you use like Claude Code is amazing because you can use your subscription, but Claude Code over analyzes data. So it looks into too much information, which makes your context, your messages in your conversation too long, because the longer the conversation, the more confused the AI gets. And we'll dive into that later. But anyway, so you can see all these documents that this agent has. Let me show you a real example. By the way, my agent, while we're making this video, just finished another one, and he's just building me these documents, and I can actually move around. And this is what is an agent skill, which we're gonna get to in the next video. Okay, so let me show you in real life what this actually looks like, because it still might be confusing. You understand the agent now has many documents, but what does it look like? And what does it look like in OpenClaw, or what does it look like in Claude Code? Because they're the exact same. And that's the surprising part. The only difference is how the agent reads them, and that's where OpenClaw, in my opinion, is the best right now. But let's dive into it. So I'm on my desktop, and I'm in my document. You can see I have some personal stuff here. I have some recordings here. I have a creative director here, but I'm gonna go to the Claude Code. And these are all the agents and files in my Claude Code. This is what your OpenClaw would look like too as you build it out. So let's dive into an agent. I forgot exactly why I built him, but now you can see I open Mike, and these are all his files. He has an AGENTS.md. Again, this is his table of contents, which I'll open up right now. It's his hard rules, his workflow, his content rules, and his scoping rules. Now, one thing I didn't mention is Claude uses Claude.md, OpenClaw uses AGENTS.md. OpenClaw knows how to read it all. Claude may get a little confused, but if you open this up, you can see it looks almost the exact same. You can see right away the table of contents. It says you have a soul, you have an identity, you have an agent, you have a memory, you have a plugin. And then it says you are Mike, always, not Claude, not an assistant, Mike the teacher. Act accordingly from the first message. It's just text telling him exactly how to operate. For example, where's his API keys? It says this is where they are. It's just telling him where everything is. For example, he has a skill called research that we will dive into in a second in his skills. But it says here's where the skills are. And when Trey says run research, or what should I teach, or give me a topic of ideas, use this research skill. And this is how it works. So going back to this, you can see if I go into skills, for example, you see he has 3 skills. Let's go into the research. You open it up and there's a file. And that file is not gonna be something crazy. It's just gonna tell him in plain English how to do the research every time. And so that's what all these files are. Just telling the agent how to do the job. And so when you're chatting with the agent, what makes it so powerful is it can filter out what it needs and what it doesn't need. And where it becomes powerful is when you give it tools. So this is one of the skills. This is called the research skill. And the goal is to surface 3 high quality topic content ideas from the AI space. So I made this agent for fun when in a demo, and this is exactly what it does. And it tells it how to do the research, how to give it to me, how to send it to me, exactly. Topic 1, why it's timely, what's the business angle, and what's the hook. And it tells them what to do after. Wait for approval. Wait until Trey responds to it. And so it just tells them how to do the job. Now let's dive into the tools. He has a tools folder, and you can see right away he has a tool to use. Right away you can see he has a tool to use Apify. And you're thinking, okay, he's gonna use this tool to go scrape, web scraping. It doesn't really tell anything technical. It's just saying, here's a YouTube scraper, use that one. It costs 0.0005 per result. And then a Reddit scraper. And it just tells him some rules on how to use these tools and where he needs to send it to me. And that is it. It's like plain English. And this is the crazy part. And so what does this mean? And so this is why everyone's talking about AI agents. And hopefully this video shows you it's not. And hopefully this video shows you it's not that actually crazy. It just makes sense. It's a whole bunch of folders and files telling the agent how to work. And so when you message it, it knows how to search and figure things out. You teach it once, a skill, and then it will do it forever. And I also will have some videos talking about skills and how to set schedules. But the point in this video is to know that you can set skills, you can set schedules, you can give it knowledge, you can give it identity and soul. You can make the agent. And so there's 3 levels of AI. You have the chatbot. That's what we've been working with for the last 2 to 3 years. And now we're really entering this AI agent and autonomous agent. And these 2 are coming really quickly. So the AI agent is what I covered today. The autonomous agent is where you actually have it has schedules to continue improving and getting better and better and better and continue moving your business better, better, and better. This is just the beginning of the AI agent in the autonomous team. You hear the NVIDIA CEO saying OpenClaw is the thing that you need to do now. This is like the ChatGPT of 2023. This is the future. This is how businesses will operate. And this is a real life example of how you build agents. You just got to give it a whole bunch of information and organize it in the right way. And now you have a perfect agent. And I'll end this video with this. You might be thinking, okay, well, how do I build these files? The crazy part is you can tell him to build it himself. That's how I built all my agents that I share with you all, is I tell it what I want. Hey, I want the best media buyer ever. So first do research on how to be the best media buyer. Okay, now save that to your knowledge. Okay, I want you to set up my ads. Okay, well, it's gonna go study how to set up the ads, how to connect to the API. And then I say, okay, good, you did a good job. Now save that as a skill so you never have to think about it again. You just know when I say set up ads, you go to that skill. And that's how it works. And so it's like training an employee. You teach them how to do something, you give them the knowledge, or you have them go get the knowledge, you have them go learn how to do it, and then you say continuously do it. And before you know it, in less than a week, you can have all these agents set up. You can have a master agent, like I have Jackson, and say, hey, I need a full team. Build me a full team. And they will do it. It's that easy. You just chat with it and you say, do it. Now, the stronger the models you're on, the smarter the agent is. That's just the truth behind it. And there's ways to be hacky, but on March 20th, Sonet 4.6 is a really affordable model that works really well. And so I hope you enjoyed this video learning about agents. I really wanted to do a deep dive so it makes sense. So thank you for watching and good luck on building your agent.